It's impossible to say which country is the best in the world. However, a case can be made for some countries just being better than others, at least in specific fields. These are 10 things India does better than Pakistan. When it comes to military matters, Pakistan simply cannot stand up to India's accomplishments. Ever since India's creation, India has won all major conflicts it has fought with Pakistan. Many of these victories were total and humiliating defeats for Pakistan. For example, during the Indo-Pakistani War of 1971, India achieved an overwhelming victory, even though Pakistan itself started this conflict when it preemptively attacked India. The defeat of Pakistan during this war was so swift and so total that over 90,000 Pakistani soldiers surrendered in a single day. India even captured more than 15,000 square kilometers of Pakistani territory during the mere 13 days the war lasted. India, of course, returned this territory to Pakistan as a gesture of goodwill. Today, thanks to continued tensions with Pakistan, India has maintained a powerful military. India has the third largest army in the entire world, while Pakistan only has the sixth largest army. In many ways, India's army is also more technologically advanced than Pakistan's. India has built its own modern aircraft carriers and is one of the few nations in the world even capable of building them. Pakistan's navy, meanwhile, has no aircraft carriers to speak of and is only a fraction of the size of India's navy. The differences in army strength don't even end there. India has twice as many combat aircraft as Pakistan has 7 times the number of attack helicopters, and far more military satellites. So when it comes to matters of the military, in both equipment and tradition, India hopelessly outclasses Pakistan. Even in matters of economics, India is far ahead of Pakistan in many crucial metrics. India's GDP as of June 2015 was $2.470 trillion, which is nearly 10 times the size of Pakistan's GDP of $288 billion. Even though Pakistan has a much smaller population, India still has a higher GDP per capita than Pakistan, with India coming in at $6,187 per capita and Pakistan only coming in with $4,906 per capita. According to the latest trends of GDP growth, this gap is only going to widen in the coming years. India's GDP growth in 2015 was an impressive 7.5%, while Pakistan's GDP only grew by 4.3%. And still, the embarrassing differences don't even end there. Ironically, even though India's population is well over 1 billion people and is much larger than Pakistan's, India's unemployment rate is the lower of the two nations. India had an unemployment rate of just 3.6% in 2014, while Pakistan had an unemployment rate of 8.5%. So when it comes to all things economic, there are very few metrics where India doesn't hopelessly outclass Pakistan. The polio virus has been the scourge of the Third World for more than just the past century. As the disease continued to take the lives of people across the globe, many nations decided that the 21st century was the time that the polio virus must be eradicated. India took this promise seriously. The last case of polio in India was in 2011, and since then there have been no reported cases of the virus in India. And in 2012, India was officially taken off the World Health Organization's list of polio endemic countries. Pakistan, meanwhile, has not yet successfully eradicated the polio virus, and unfortunately has continued to struggle against distributing polio vaccines in recent years. In 2015, there were 53 cases of polio, which was the highest number out of any country in the entire world. The trouble is that the Pakistani Taliban has been actively attacking aid workers, claiming that the polio vaccine is a Western plot to sterilize local children. Despite strong international efforts, the polio virus continues to ravage Pakistan. Bollywood is already world famous for being the largest film industry in the entire world. In fact, in 2011, over 3.5 billion Bollywood tickets were sold across the globe, which in comparison is 900,000 tickets more than what was sold by Hollywood. Because of this, you're probably not surprised to learn that Bollywood, in terms of its sheer size and quality, is far greater than Pakistani's much smaller film industry. On top of this, while Bollywood has been breaking international film records and has been booming year after year, Pakistan's film industry is in serious danger of almost disappearing entirely. In 1990, there were over 750 movie theaters in Pakistan, but by 2002, this number was just 175. The few theaters still in operation in Pakistan have been slammed due to their poor quality. Indian cinema, whether it be Bollywood, Mollywood, or Tollywood, is light years ahead of Pakistan's. It seems that even some Pakistanis will admit this. Many Pakistani film aficionados have expressed public concerns over attempts to ban Indian films in Pakistani theaters, as 70% of the revenue from Pakistan's movie theaters comes from Indian movies. It seems that even Pakistanis prefer Indian movies. When it comes to the education and instruction of doctors and engineers, India leads the world, at least in terms of quantity. India produces so many doctors and engineers, in fact, that graduates from India even fulfill the medical and engineering needs of other countries, such as the United States. Without the doctors and engineers produced by India each year, there likely would be a global shortage of these professionals. In absolute terms, India produces 50,000 doctors each year and 1.5 million engineers each year. Pakistan, meanwhile, only produces a fraction of this number and even lost 1,700 doctors to other countries in 2013 thanks to an ongoing brain drain. India contributes more to science than Pakistan on both an absolute and a per capita basis. India publishes 9 scientific papers for every 100,000 citizens, while Pakistan only produces 5 scientific papers per every 100,000 citizens. This means, even while ignoring the larger population of India, it still contributes more to the scientific community on a relative basis. This gap in contributions to the world scientific community is a point of pride for people living in India, and this is certainly an area where Pakistan should try to catch up. Scientific papers are not the end of the story when comparing the scientific achievements of countries. When it comes to winning the Nobel Prize, India is far ahead of Pakistan. 7 Indians have won the Nobel Prize as of this video's release. Pakistan, on the other hand, has only won 2 Nobel Prizes as of 2016. When it comes to sports, India often, but not always, seems to triumph over Pakistan. Since 1992, India has consistently defeated Pakistan in all World Cup matches. The India-Pakistan cricket rivalry is one of the most intense sports rivalries in the entire world. Matches between the two nations routinely reach nearly 1 billion viewers, and players in both teams face extreme pressure to win and are threatened by extreme reactions and defeat. Because of the one-sided nature of the Pakistani-Indian cricket rivalry, many Pakistanis can even be found speculating online as to why India almost always seems to come out ahead. But cricket isn't the only area of sports where India is ahead of Pakistan. India has won 28 Olympic medals to date, while Pakistan has only won 11. In the most recent 2016 Olympics, the differences between the two nations were even more apparent when India won 2 Olympic medals and Pakistan won 0. The list of all the delicious and exotic foods that India produces is simply too long of a list to examine in just one video, but needless to say, this list is a long and exhaustive one. India is the largest banana producer in the entire world, with 24.9 million metric tons coming out of the country each year. India is also the largest mango producer, which is unsurprising given India's affinity for this delicious fruit. 1,525,000 tons of spices are also produced in India each year, which easily outpaces Pakistan and actually the rest of the world. The only category where Pakistan even comes close to India is in chickpea production. But here, Pakistan falls at a distant third behind Australia and India. India is the world's largest democracy, and many international observers have applauded the strength of India's democracy in spite of the many diverse challenges India faces. Pakistan, meanwhile, has struggled with maintaining its democracy in the face of countless coups and military dictatorships. Over the course of Pakistan's entire existence, 4 of Pakistan's 12 leaders have been military dictators. Because of these struggles, it remains to be seen if Pakistan can ever truly make democracy work in its country. For more top lists just like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you thought we were too hard on Pakistan, be sure to click the annotations and watch 10 things Pakistan does better than India. Links to this video will also be in the description. In the meantime, thanks for watching and thanks for learning.